Hello. Hi. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. It is me, and I'm here ready to talk to you about stuff while showing you some snacks. Some Japanese snacks in particular that I got from the convenience store today. Yes. Can you hear it? I'm tapping on the box. I don't know if you can hear. So, one of my favorite things about Japan is the convenience stores because they are very convenient, as you might imagine, and they have lots of really, really, really good snacks. Really good snacks. And they're pretty cheap too, at least to my standards. So, I got some Pocky. I don't know how you all say it, but I think it's Pocky. There's no name written in Japanese, so I could read like the correct phonetic pronunciation. It's just in English Pocky, so I think it's Pocky. Pocky chocolate. It says chocolate okashi, or just kashi, which is chocolate snack. Chocolate okashi. And these ones are special because they're thinner, and I think you get more because they're thinner. I already opened them, sorry. I wanted to eat them before. Yeah, I will show you the box because it's cute. And I like to trace things, so let me just trace this for you. P-O-C-K-Y. I think these are available in a lot of countries, not just Japan. They were available in America, but they were kind of expensive because they were imported, I think. So I never really got them, but here they're super cheap. And it says chocolate. There's so many different flavors too. My favorite one I tried, I got from Osaka, and they had milk chocolate and coconut. Little pieces of coconut and milk chocolate. And it was really, really good. At the convenience store I went today, they had a salted vanilla one. Salted vanilla. And I wasn't sure about a salted vanilla. I like salted caramel, but I didn't know about salted vanilla, so I didn't get them. I got the ones that I knew I liked. Yes. And this says happy wo kanji. I cannot read this kanji, sorry guys. My kanji skills are not the greatest. Oh, it's not focusing. Please focus. Please focus. Hello? Anyway, here's a kanji. I don't know what this says or what it means, sorry. But this says happy wo kanji so. And then this kanji says hana so, which means let's talk. And happy, I don't know if it's supposed to be a phonetic writing of happy. I don't know. Happy wo kanji something. And then hana so, let's talk. Sorry for my poor translation. And then this says happy poki. Oh, poki. So I guess it's poki, not pocky, sorry. Did I say poki or pocky? I don't know. But this says poki. So there we have it. The verdict. It is pronounced poki, not pocky, sorry. Happy poki mitsuketa. Happy poki mitsuketa. It means a happy poki has been found. You found happy poki. Mitsuketa. You found it. Okay. And then this says happy danbui poki. Happy don. Is it don? Sumimasen. Dan. Happy danburi bui poki. Happy danbui poki. I don't know what happy danbui is. I guess it's these characters here. Have you guys seen these characters before? I've never seen them. No, I've seen the frog guy. I've definitely seen this guy, but I actually don't know. Are these happy tambui? I guess. But it's like a little partnership going on with these characters and Poki. Poki, Poki, Poki. 2-pack. 2 packs. I think it's interesting here. There's a lot of English written on things, and sometimes there's Japanese description and other things are written in English. So 2-pack is written in English, but then a description of the snack is written in Japanese. Chocolate candy is what this is. Chocolate okashi. So and then we have all of the nutritional information written all in Japanese pretty much. Can I read this? Probably not. There's way too many kanji. I'm basically illiterate when things are written totally in kanji because they are so hard to read. I myself have memorized like 300 kanji, which seems like a lot, but it's not. There's more than 2,000 of them, and it's so difficult for me. So, I'm not even, what am I? I'm half of a third of the way there, which would be like a sixth or 1/7 of the way there, I'd say. Probably. Okay. I like when it has katakana though, because it's so easy. Oops. Mix package. Mix package. Mix package. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Oh, this is fun. What is this? Looks like some game on the back. Some game on the back. And let me see what this says. Happy Poki Mitsuketa. Oh, that's what it means. Happy Poki Mitsuketa. Because you need to find this guy. Mitsuketa means has been found. So I think you're supposed to find him and then share on social media or whatever. Happy Poki Mitsuketa. To show that you found him. Where is that guy? Will we be able to find him? I don't know. This is tough. So this guy with the box and the Poki in his left hand. This is his left hand. You have to find him somewhere in here, guys. I don't know if we can do that again. Is it him? Nope. Box is in his right hand. Is it him? Might be him. Is this the same? This guy and this guy. They look pretty similar to me. I think we found him. Okay, good job, good job. And then it says in English, Happy Dambui Poki. So here, when it said Happy Dambui, it's referring to these guys. This cartoon brand, I think. And then, let me see. It says Kotae and Sarani Game mo. Not sure what it means either. Happy ni Poki o tabeteiru kono batsu wa doko? And it says, while you're happily eating the Poki, can you find this guy? Basically is what this says. So, and there's one more little area here with a lot of writing. What does this say? Reshito and tote web de nani nani kanji. I think something about the receipt. And you can do something on the internet to get your receipt. Happy Poki Presento Campaign. Happy Poki Present Campaign. Campaign something 2022年3月20 the dates of the campaign. Okay, and then a QR code. And yeah. And then there's some lovely kanji here that I absolutely cannot read. Sorry, guys. And yeah, usually kanji are pretty complex, and they're made up of multiple basic kanji. And I know the basic ones, but once they get really complicated like this, I don't know. Sometimes you can guess the meaning by combining the meanings of multiple small ones, but a lot of the times, at least to me, it's pretty arbitrary and hard to put it together. So anyway, this one right here goes this means tree, and it can be read as ki or moku. Ki for tree, and moku as in mokuyobi, which means Thursday. Thursday in Japanese is tree day. And then here's this box here. This means mouth. And it can be read in a lot of different ways. Kuchi or guchi is the most common one, and it means mouth or just like a general opening. For example, an exit, they always have kuchi kanji with like the kanji for to leave, and then mouth actually means exit because it's kind of like a doorway, but it also describes your literal mouth, which is called kuchi. And then this guy here, I don't know what this is, sorry. And then this radical, you call a piece of a kanji a radical. And this one here, I don't know its meaning, but it shows up in a lot of different kanji. It's a very common radical, but I actually don't know what it means. Okay, and then we have two here combined. So this, it shows up kind of differently in this font, how it's typed. This is not typically how you'd see it written or typed, so it looks a little different to me. But this is a really common radical. I think it means thread, but I could be wrong. But it's in the kanji for rennaku. It's in kekkon for, rennaku means contact, kekkon means marriage. And you can kind of see a theme of like a thread connects things. So for marriage, it kind of makes sense, thread to be in it, or for to contact someone. It's a connection of thread, I don't know. And then this one, I do know for a fact, means like field. I think specifically a rice field. And it's usually pronounced as ta or da. For example, Tanaka is a really popular family name. Tanaka, which would be field, and then naka is the kanji for middle. Middle. So naka, basically field middle is the name, like middle of a field. Yeah. Ta. So if this does mean thread and this means field, I have no idea what this one could mean. And if this means tree and this means mouth, I don't know what this is. Or how this relates to Poki at all. Maybe this is the name of the Japanese brand label, I don't know. I'm not very educated on Japanese snacks. Not yet, sorry, but this is what we have. Do a bit of tapping. Oh, guys, if you've watched my videos before, you might be familiar with the fact that I did not have fingernails. Because for my job, I used to work at Starbucks in the United States. But since I came to Japan, I am jobless. I'm a student full-time. So I can grow out my nails freely. And look, I know they're still pretty short. But for me, compared to what I had, like, these are nails. Look, I have nails. So I can finally tap on things with my nails. It's really exciting. Can you see them? They're not stubby. They're still pretty stubby, but significantly longer than they were. I don't know how well you guys can see, but please appreciate and compliment my nails. Thank you. So I'm really happy because this is like nail tapping. I got so used to tapping with my fingertips like this. Now I can do this kind. I'm not very good at it, sorry. I have to get used to it. How about we try one? How about that? Let's try a poke. Oh, another thing I really like about Japan so far is it's very easy to open things. I have been challenged with opening things my whole life. I've always struggled because I don't have the strongest hands, and just like trying to open it the proper way or rip it, I always have to ask for help. I always have to ask somebody else to open things for me, and I never feel independent in opening things. But here in Japan, I can independently open things because they make it very easy. They always give instructions, and this is kind of a fun way. So this is already opened. Sorry, I can't really do it again for you. But this was connected here, and it says open with 2 arrows. So you just pull it like this, and it opens so easily and cleanly. If this were in the United States, I'd have to like rip it up here somehow, and it'd rip unevenly and make a mess. This is so nice. And this is the standard for packaged things here that I've experienced. There's always a unique or clean or easy way to open something without making a mess or struggling. Very user-friendly. That is kind of a theme in Japan that I've noticed. They value convenience and being user-friendly for different types of people. It's really nice. Here is Mr. Pokey. Mr. Pokey, who is very tiny. Very small because I got the thin ones. Because the thin ones are very fun. I feel like with the thin ones, you get more chocolate. Like the chocolate to Pokey ratio is more chocolate ratio. And I love chocolate. I don't know. I feel like if the Pokey's thicker, you get less chocolate. I don't even know if that makes sense because the surface area would be bigger, so you get more chocolate for a bigger one. I don't know. Sorry, guys. I'm not a Pokey engineer, but my brain thinks this is more chocolate, so I like it. Let's try it. It's so good. And even though I had these in the United States, this just tastes better. I don't know why. I really recommend it. If you get the chance, buy them online or something. These are so good. So good. Okay. In addition to talking about the Pokey, I also had planned on telling a story, but so far I've given you no story. I've only given you Pokey, sorry. But I wanted to give one of my many stories, and I have to choose one from my brain of my life here so far. If you had not seen my previous video, I've been in Japan for about 1 month. So I have 1 month's worth of stories of an American leaving America for the first time and coming to Japan. So, I think I will talk about, I'll start from the beginning, and I'll talk about my trip here, the plane trip. Because it was naturally, because it was my first time leaving America, it was my first time on an overseas flight, which was scary and exciting. I liked it. It was fun, but it was still scary. So previously, I had only been on an airplane twice, 2 times. Once when I was in kindergarten, and it was like a 3-hour flight. Hardly remember it. And then once when I was in high school, and I was 16 years old, and it was also a 3-hour flight. So that doesn't really count much now, does it? So I was a baby flyer, and then all of a sudden I was going to fly to the other side of the world by myself. Most halfway by myself. There's a little asterisk there by myself, because my Okay, I gotta give a little background story about the background story now, because to make this all make sense, let me give you a little bit more background information. Sorry. This is my storytelling style. So, let me fill you in if you did not watch my previous video with my updates. Then let me tell you real quick. Before I came to Japan, I had not seen my boyfriend in 2 years. 2 years. My boyfriend lives in Japan. We met in person previously, like 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, when he studied abroad at my university in the United States. And that's when we started dating. And then after his 1-year program ended, he had to go back to Japan, and COVID-19 happened, and Japan shut its borders for 2 years. We could not meet. Opposite ends of the world for 2 years. Okay, enough about that. So then, all of a sudden, Japan opened its borders. They opened their borders. And, so of course, not seeing him for 2 years, him not seeing me for 2 years, he, as soon as possible, got plane tickets and arranged to be able to visit the United States, because I could not yet enter, because you had to be a permanent resident, or a citizen, to be able to cross the borders. So they were open, but for very limited people. So he could go out and go in, but I couldn't enter yet. So he came here to the United States, and at that time, I did not know that I was going to be able to go to Japan to study abroad, because at that time, borders were still closed. They were not taking student visas whatsoever. So he bought his plane tickets. He got a round, what is it called? Round way, one way, not one way, but round trip tickets. So he got, he was going to be here for like 3 weeks. So he picked the dates for when he would be going back to Japan, right? And so while he was here, and we were getting used to being in person again and not dating a phone screen, I found out that I was going to be able to study abroad. Very suddenly, I was contacted by the university in Japan, and they said, we got news, the borders are opening for student visas only. It's very limited, and we advise that you get your visa as soon as possible before the borders may close again. So we acted very urgently, and in the 2 to 3 weeks that he was there, we got all the visa stuff ready, and he helped me a lot, and I prepared to come to Japan for a year in the span of 2 weeks. And part of that, of course, was buying plane tickets to be able to fly there. And I thought, shoot, what if I can get on the same plane as him when he's going back? He already had bought his plane tickets previously, as I said. So we tried to find the same flight and be able to fly back together. And we were halfway successful because there were multiple layovers. There was 1 layover, 2 layover, 3 layover, 4. 3 layovers. So we were able to get the first flight together and the second flight together. But then the actual overseas flight, we flew out of Chicago all the way to Tokyo. We couldn't get the same one. So the most important one, I was by myself. So there's the background story about that. Sorry for that ramble and a ramble. I'm gonna have a pokey. So where'd it go? Me, being a baby flyer, flew across the Pacific Ocean all by myself. I'm very proud about it. And so, the night before, I flew out from the international airport in my state where I lived in the United States. I was packing, naturally. I left it all to the last, 48 hours before I left. That's when I did all my packing. And my strategy was, I knew that I would have to get used to a big time difference. So my strategy was I will just not sleep until I arrive in Japan, and I will let myself go to sleep when it's nighttime. That was my initial strategy. And then I realized this flight with all the layovers cumulatively is like 27 hours. And then if I'm not going to sleep before I leave because I had to pack, I'm not going to sleep for like 72 hours and I'm going to die, and I can't do that. So then my new plan was to time it to where I go to sleep on the plane whenever it's nighttime in Japan, so that I kind of start to arrange and get into that sleep schedule, right? So I was like, okay, I can do the all-nighters then before I leave and just pack for like 48 hours and prepare and say bye to my family and my friends and everything. So I did that, and as you can imagine, I was losing my freaking mind because I no sleep, first of all, and I was about to leave and go to Japan, and I was still processing that. It had not sunk in that I was gonna get to live my dreams finally, my dreams that I'd had since high school for like 6 years. I was gonna get to do it. That hadn't sunk in yet because it was so sudden and everything was happening. So I was losing my gosh darn mind, and so I hardly remember the flight, and then my first day in Japan, I hardly remember because I was gone. Like, my mind was gone. I was not present. I had not been sleeping. So the first flight, I hardly even remember this because I was up all night, and then there was a Zoom orientation class orientation for the Japanese university, and because a lot of people had not arrived in Japan yet, they had the orientation online, and that happened to be at the same time, like the 10 hours before my flight was the orientation in the middle of the night for me. So I was halfway listening to this orientation while trying to like speed pack and like deal with my emotions that I'm not going to see my family for a year, and all that was happening. And so then got all packed, and my family drove me and my boyfriend to the big airport for our first flight. And we got luggage checked in. I was real stressed about that. Don't know why. I just thought, like, what if somehow like 10 pounds of drugs end up in my luggage and I don't even know it, and then I'm gonna get arrested and I'm not gonna get to go. Like, my anxiety was going crazy. Irrationally, as it does. But it was all good. We got all our luggage checked. We went through the TSA, is that what it's called? TSA. And we got stopped at every single TSA for multiple reasons. So my boyfriend decided that he wanted to bring back omiyage to his friends and family from America. If you all don't know what omiyage is, there's a big souvenir culture in Japan. Omiyage means souvenir. Basically, if you go on a trip, it's very rude if you don't bring back omiyage, souvenir. So his American souvenir was like 10 boxes of Kraft mac and cheese that he decided to put in his carry-on luggage. And every time we went through TSA check, they were like, what? First of all, why is this shaking? Why does it sound like there's maracas in here? And what the heck is showing up on the, it's not an x-ray, but they put it through the, I don't even know, so they can detect metal or whatever. And it was beeping off every time. And when the poor TSA people opened it up and saw just box upon box of Kraft mac and cheese, I felt so bad for them, but I'm sure it gave them a good laugh. So that was funny. And then in my carry-on luggage, I decided to put my microphone, my lovely prized possession here. It was quite big. I don't know if you guys are familiar with how big the Blue Yeti is. This is a hefty mic. She's pretty big. She's bigger than my head. So I packed this microphone up, And I did not want this going in my checked luggage. For one thing, I didn't know if it was allowed. For another thing, I know they're not very nice to that luggage. They throw it around like crazy. And I did not want Miss Microphone to get beat up. So I packed her up very nicely in my carry-on, and I kept her with me at all times. I carried her on. And then I also did not consider that that would look quite suspicious going through the TSA beeper system as well. So surprisingly, at all the checkpoints in the United States, I never got stopped for my microphone. And I was kind of shocked about that I didn't get stopped. My boyfriend got stopped for his mac and cheese. So when I made it to Tokyo, I flew from Chicago to Tokyo. I'm going out of order here. I'm going to go back in time in a minute to tell you something else about that flight. But when I got to Tokyo and went through immigration and the baggage check there, first of all, I had to take off my shoes. And I was like, my boyfriend did not have to take off his shoes, and neither did any other Japanese national here, and me, the foreigner, had to take off my shoes. I was feeling a little funny about that, but then my boyfriend explained it's because I was wearing long pants that covered my ankles, whereas everyone else had shorts or like shorter pants where you could see their ankles, and they needed to see my ankles for some reason. Anyway, it's fine. I'm not mad about it. Whatever. And I also got stopped with my carry-on, and they called the people over, and there was like a little huddle meeting going on with the TSA officer people, or whatever it's called in Japan. I don't know if they call it TSA. And I was shaking in my boots. I was a little worried because I was like, I know it's just a microphone, but what if it's not? Like, what if it turned into a knife? Or I don't know, what if I accidentally brought a weapon? And I'm gonna get deported, and I'm not gonna be able to enter Japan. So I was worried, even though there was nothing to be worried about because it's just a microphone. And so they brought the suitcase over to me. They never opened it, which is interesting. They never opened it. They brought the suitcase to me, and this guy asked me in Japanese, do you have anything on this side of the suitcase in this corner? And went like this, about the size of my microphone. And I was so nervous, and all my Japanese left my brain, and I just went, "Oki, oki, mic, oki, mic, oki," which is like big microphone. And he starts laughing, and they all just crack up, and they're like, "Karimashita, 大丈夫ですよ." And they're like, we understand, it's okay. And they didn't even open it or look. They just took my word for it and let me go. So that's my Japanese TSA microphone story. So we got her in the country, no problem. Yes, and then going back in time, I told you my plan was to sleep on the plane. I did not sleep. Nope, I didn't do it. I don't know if it's because I was too excited or emotionally shocked, or that it was so incredibly uncomfortable because I was in economy, of course, that I could not fall asleep. And so I think I was awake for like 2.5 days straight by the time I arrived at Japan. And I stayed the night in a hotel in Tokyo because we missed our flight. And they were kind enough to give us accommodations for free in Tokyo. And I think I slept like 4 or 5 hours that night because I was absolutely wired. Like, I was going crazy. Yeah. I'm gonna have another Poke, and then I'm gonna wrap up this ramble. So that was some of my experiences flying to Japan. Very fun. Very crazy. And this Poke is very delicious. So, all in all, if I rate my flight experience, I give it an 8. It was good. Could have been better. Could have slept. Could have not gotten pulled over at TSA for mac and cheese and my microphone, but cannot complain. Alright, guys. I hope you all a lovely rest of your day, night, week, month, year, everything. And I will see you again very soon. Good night. Good everything. Bye bye. Thank you always for watching.